I will tell you what, when I stay away from, oh, where's my old black screen of death right there? Okay. When I stay away from this guy right here for any considerable amount of time, I feel great. I really do feel great when not on social media or anything like that, when I'm just simply creating videos like this. Okay. If I am using my phone for anything, just for simple podcasts, audiobooks, music or anything like that, that's great. That's about the extent, and that's the most I use that thing for. Outside of that, though, I think it's poison. I think they were kind of finding that out, especially with these dopamine cycles that continue to be triggered by different social media applications that are out there. So if you just go ahead and withdraw yourself from that, your life's going to get a heck of a lot better. So tech's attack on our dopamine system. What does the cute little Christy Prace have to say about this? Tech companies hire rooms full of highly intelligent people to figure out how to addict you to your phone. Their mission is to cause habitual addictive behavior, a process called reward predicting error, RPE encoding, and features neurotransmitter called dopamine. Yes, of course. 2018 interview, former VP of Facebook responsible for user growth, Chathmal. Yup. I can't even abbreviate his name because that's nefarious in and of itself. Spoke on dopamine feedback loops that he regrettably helped develop for the social media platforms. Man, the short-term dopamine-driven feedback loop that we have created are destroying how society works. Social media companies are exploiting the psychology of people for making a profit. Yeah, and now everybody uses it. Snapchat, TikTok, and now it's even worse actually with the short-form content that's out there because, yeah, you get those little dopamine hits every 5, 6, 7 seconds. Just continue to scroll down and learn nothing, but you feel really good in doing it. Ugh. That's why, personally, I like to make longer form content where at least there's more information that's present in it. Okay. It's your choice how long you want to engage with it, but I just like to provide content instead of just, goofy little TikTok dances or anything like that. And I got a nice chest, but it's not one that I could display or anything like that in order to just read off stupid donations. If you know, you know. But what are dopamine feedback loops? You might have heard the term dopamine before. Neurotransmitter in the brain that makes you feel good. But how do they work? How do these work in the context of social media? Dopamine feedback loop works similarly to the method casino owners use for slot machines. That's a good analogy. If you've ever played slots, you'd experience a rush of anticipation when the wheel spins, the lights are flashing, sounds are going. Oh, ooh, ooh. Oh, okay. Put in another coin. Make the lights bluster. Okay, make the sounds go wild, and then just hopefully that distracts you from all of the other senior citizens on the tour bus that are down there just plunking away their pension checks. The moments between the lever pull and the outcome gives the time for the dopaminergic neurons of the midbrain to increase the activity, creating a new reward charge for each pull. In that same manner, social media companies have created a similar action, anticipation, and reward loop. The action, scrolling, writing, sharing, posting, and commenting. Anticipation, finding a new piece of content, or waiting for a like or comment. Exactly. And that reward is receiving one of the latter. If you've ever posted on social media site or like other apps just for the sake of getting likes and comments, and you have opened up the app to look for the first post, then swipe to see what comes next, and before you knew it 15 minutes had gone by, and you've experienced a dopamine feedback loop. Exactly. It artificially puts you in the zone. Then it also gives you the rush of validation. Maybe that's just another loop that gets triggered, but let's see. What are the dangers of dopamine feedback loops? Well, you're basically creating digital junkies. We're going to keep it a buck. The dopamine-driven feedback loops will cause your neurons to dump an excess of dopamine into your system, making you feel good initially. The problem is when this happens, our brains compensate for the dopamine dump by seeking equilibrium, by pushing our dopamine levels below baseline, causing us to go into a dopamine deficit state. The symptom of dopamine deficiency can look like depression, hopelessness, anxiety, and more. These are man-made dopamine-driven feedback loops, mimic exactly how people become addicted to drugs and can cause individuals to become trapped in a vicious, chemically imbalanced cycle of highs and lows. Exactly. That's why all of these social media platforms are free to use, because they want you on there. That's why they monetize all of that stuff. That's why the old axiom that's out there, if you're not paying for something, you're the product for sale, okay? Because they have all of those ad buys that are out there. All of those ad buys need to be served to people and their eyeballs. They have to be viewed by somebody who has, oh, well, artificially, or if it's actually real, if it's triggering things in the brain, it's not artificial. It's at least digital, okay? Doesn't exist in reality, but it does in your head, okay? So close enough. They keep you on the platform for hours and hours at a time, and that's why the content continues to get shorter and shorter and shorter, because more ads, more dopamine hits, because you found that new thing, and oh my God, then you can go down that pipeline. And what becomes even more nefarious on top of that, they get all of these people addicted to all this stuff like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then all of a sudden they ban you. They cut you off from your source. You can no longer get your fix, and then they just leave you jonesing. And what does that deficiency look like? Well, just take a look at that whenever you go through withdrawals. This stuff is real, and it's nefarious, and it's a problem for the 21st century. Our smartphones can be a helpful asset to the modern day hypodermic needle delivering digital dopamine 24/7. And that's why getting away from this stuff, it's pretty important. Okay, so when to know that you have a problem. Signs of technology addiction can include getting less sleep due to technology or internet activities. Yeah, if you're staring at a screen all night, or you just can't get to sleep until you get a reply from that one person. Ugh. Okay, compulsively checking text messages or notification. Just the spoiler, I have, outside of text messages and just a handful of people, like my telephone number, it's super exclusive, and I'm only on in an official capacity. I got burner accounts to view a bunch of different platforms, okay, but the only one that I'm active on is Twitter, and I have all of those notifications turned off. The only way that people can get a hold of me is if they have my phone number, and then even on top of that, I always keep the ringer on silent, so I see the stuff when I want to see it, okay? That's the way that I'd advise everybody to move, but not everybody's built like me, okay? Losing interest in aspects of life that don't involve the internet or technology. Okay, cool. Feeling guilty or getting defensive about the time we spend online. Yeah, guilty means that you know that you have a problem. Getting defensive is somebody else realizes that you have a problem before you do. Turning to the internet or technology-enabled device to improve your mood. Oh, yeah. If you've got to reconcile your terrible life, and the only way that you can feel better about your worthless existence is by engaging in a digital one, that's a pretty easy sign that you have a problem. That's the same way that people reconcile. It's like, I only feel good when I'm drunk or high or anything like that, okay? That's the exact same thing. The only way that I feel valid is if I'm online and people are telling me that I'm valid at all times. Yuck. And last but not least, trying but failing to cut back on internet or technology use. Yeah, I can stop anytime. It's like, okay, bro. Symptoms of dopamine deficiency. You're depressed, feel hopeless, moody, or anxious. You don't feel pleasure from previously enjoyable experiences. Jokes aplenty for that one. You can't concentrate, have trouble sleeping or disturbed sleep, low sex drive. Wait, pause. Which videos are you scrolling through? Is safe search turned on? You are tired. Well, that could be from a lot of things, I guess. You lack motivation, drive, gastrointestinal symptoms, including constant or chronic constipation. How does that come about? Maybe because you're sat and looking at your phone at all time. That's interesting. I would like to see that extrapolated on. How does your phone make you poop no go? Because that would, interesting. So rebalancing our dopamine. All right, start with a dopamine fast. Take a 30-day break. Or I would just argue, have a set amount of time where you check any of your notifications. It's the exact same playbook that was laid down. I'm looking at my bookshelf right now. Okay, I've seen it in the 4-hour work week. I think it's in there specifically. You schedule the times where you answer your emails. It's a little bit out of date, but the principle remains the same. You check your Twitter, your social media outlets. You check them at a certain point in the day, okay? And then outside of that, you pay no attention to it all whatsoever. So you can do that, or of course, if you need a reset like that, like people like to just intermittently do diets instead of just, eating healthy throughout the year, to each their own, I guess, okay? Cut out your addictive behavior entirely at first, and then reintroduce it in moderation. Like I said, a couple of different times throughout the day, or eventually you could just work it out to like a 1-hour block every week. Turn off all phone notifications. Yeah, I'd just recommend that in entirety, okay? Unless, of course, there's something specific that you need to have at your attention, but chances are you probably got, 2 parents, and they're only going to die once, so There's only a couple of things that are just going to immediately need your attention. And, I'd hate to be morose or anything like that, but if you don't immediately get notified, it's not like they're going to get any more dead. Change your phone screen to grayscale. Yeah, I just got cool pictures. I think mine's like this snowy background right now because it's snowy outside, and I like to change mine with the seasons, but sometimes I just kind of forget and just leave it on colors for a long time. But yeah, grayscales. Oh, okay, cool. Findings show that colors of green and blue are on the top of the list. They're colors enhancing concentration of dopamine. Interesting. Notice blue themes on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Oh, interesting. And a similar study also shows, at least for attention-grabbing colors, yellow and red. So that's why you normally see like red laser eyes. I'm kind of guilty of it on for thumbnails on my main channel, and then especially the yellow as well. That's what you'll notice a lot of the time whenever you're at a store or something and they're advertising a sale. If they need your immediate attention like this, it's like, hey, yellow and red over here. That's the color scheme that they're going to use mostly. Maybe because it contrasts so well with the use of blue. That's interesting. I'd like to see that maybe researched a little bit more in depth. Okay, create a counter movement. So what, move your counter? This is a physical movement to become more conditioned to response. Example, when you realize you're endlessly scrolling, dopamine counter movement becomes a conditioned response to break the dopamine seeking. I have no idea what that means. You press the home button and place your phone side down. Oh yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, just throw away your phone, bro. Yeah, whatever. Dopamine diet. Okay, eat real food, high magnesium and tyrosine. Don't eat your phone. Don't do that. Food's known to increase dopamine. Oh, this is actual dopamine diet. Okay, cool. Increased dopamine include chicken, almonds, apples, avocados, bananas, beets, chocolate, leafy greens, green tea, lima beans, oatmeal, oranges, peas, sesame and pumpkin seeds, tomatoes, turmeric, watermelon, and wheat germ, as well as Brazil nuts, which have a funny nickname. Anyways, yeah, the things that I'd recommend that are on there, chicken, a couple of the nuts, avocados are terrific, leafy greens, obviously, I'm always going to recommend that. Fermented foods are high in natural probiotics. Yes, exactly. Maintaining your gut health are pretty important as well. Okay, so dopamine increasing activities, things that you can do, extracurricular from breaking the habit yourself. Cold showers, yeah, okay, cool. Or just cold exposure in general, that's what I would recommend. Exercise, yeah, just move, go outside. Sunlight, yes, increased vitamin D. Proper supplementation levels as well. Sleep, yeah, exactly. Have a proper sleep habit. How about that? And gut health. Yes, indeed. Eat properly. Have your proper probiotics. And then last but not least, yoga, meditation, and music. Rest, relaxation, proper diet, and get off your stupid phone. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.